From the home of Falcon football, CBS 7 presents Falcon Focus with Jake Gayden and Marshall Kramsky.
Good evening, Falcons, and welcome into another week of Falcon Focus. I'm Jake Gayden.
And I'm Tatum Gwen. We are getting you caught up on the final basketball home games of the fall semester and also taking a look at some of the spring sports tonight.
So before we do that, let's get you caught up on everything you missed this past week in the women's game against Arlington Baptist. Head coach Ray Booth said she wanted to get her team to focus on themselves this week, so they did that and did not scheme against the Patriots. The Falcon Dome packed with UTV STEM kids. What a Friday treat for them it was. To the action, Falcons up 2 to the first. It's the Patriots' Adia Gonzalez backs out on the defender. Nice spin move in the finish. She finished with a game-high 19 points. The Falcons then playing an inside-out game. Callie Pippin's tie around with the 20-footer. She finished with 18 on the night. Then followed up here, Kristen James baseline jumper to gives UTPB the 8-point lead. UTPB swim team in attendance in swimsuits, guys. 30 degrees outside.
Naturally.
Yeah, that makes no sense to me. Decide the point. Arlington Baptist trying to keep this close. Gonzalez from 3 from the top of the key. That's good. But the Falcons would create some separation. Sarah Bersang from 3. That's good. And then in transition, we have the corner 3. China Rivera. Good. Arlington Baptist here is going to call a timeout. Falcons looking good very early. Let's look at the final score. UTV going to cruise 87-57 in this one.
Very nice. And the men, they will have their chance to take on Arlington Baptist tomorrow. But this isn't just any home game. It is our first ever toy toss game.
Coach Newman is here to talk about all things toys. So first, Coach, you came up with this, I don't know, what would you call it, event of the toy toss up in Arkansas. How did you kind of come into this idea?
Yeah, so 8 years ago, there's a group that's called the Six Man, and we're just sitting around, what can we do to make a difference in our community? And we saw the teddy bear toss that a couple hockey teams have done. Yeah. And then there's a school, John Brown, that does a toilet paper toss. So we figured, let's combine the two and do a toy toss. And for the first ever time 8 years ago, we created the toy toss, and it's created a ripple effect all throughout the country.
Yes.
And we're super excited to be a part of that.
Well, and you're seeing some video from one of those toy toss games that caught national attention. Coach, did you ever think it would get that big?
You know, I did not. I was hoping it would. I mean, you know, there's not very often that you get a chance to make a difference in the world.
Sure.
And when we came up with this idea, we thought it would affect our community. And then slowly but surely, different universities did it. Different high schools have done it. I even think I heard Kansas did it at halftime the other night. I know Mississippi State women have done it. So it's amazing to think that event that was created in Fort Smith by a group of people trying to make a difference has made a difference in the entire country.
Caught on.
Is that what makes it so special, though, Coach?
Absolutely. That's the most significant thing to me is that each community is reaching out, trying to do something special, and we created an event that I hope is going to be everlasting.
Absolutely. Well, one of my favorite things is just watching the build-up for this game. Your guys have spent the past few weeks recruiting toys, going around schools. Talk about the past few weeks.
Yeah, it's been a lot of fun. You know, we've had a week off from our last game, so this whole week has really been designated towards the toy toss. We've been to different schools. We've simulated the toy toss with different classes, and right now we have a toy runoff between STEM Academy and St. Mary's. They were very, very close on the number, and we were going to have them co-champs, but actually they wanted to have an extension of the contest. So tomorrow will be the final day of the toy drive for both those schools, and we will name a champion and present a trophy at halftime as well.
So fun.
How are the players reacting to this? They must have a blast with this, am I right?
They are. Today they got to put all the toys out. When they went to simulate the toy toss, they don't really know what it's about until you really get into it.
Right.
And now that they see the difference and they keep saying, man, this is a lot of toys. And I think they're super excited for the event, which is Monday, obviously.
I love it. There's toys that's filled the stands. So if somebody wants to come, the game's tomorrow, what do they need to do?
Well, you got to show up on time. That's
Okay.
the most
That's
important
very
thing.
important,
Don't be late.
And maybe early.
Yeah, I would show up early because hopefully we're going to have a line in the door. The
Yeah.
game starts at 7, so be there early. We'd love for them to bring a soft toy. It could be a Nerf football, it could be a Nerf ball, it could be anything that's soft that's not going to hurt the players or damage the floor. The event is totally free, so you don't even have to buy a ticket. You just show up early, walk in the door, find you a spot, and then just get ready to throw that soft toy when we score our first basket.
It's going to be
You know
a
what
lot of fun.
favorite part tomorrow? I'm going to throw it at the ref, okay?
You're going to throw it at the ref?
Just because I can.
I've had a few people say they're going to throw it at me, which I don't know why they would think I'm not going to be on the floor.
If you're in the gym, you're fair game.
There we go. I love it.
I love it.
With Jake Gayden and Marshall Kramsky.
Welcome back. It's mid-season for the UT Permian Basin swim team, and it's been a big year so far, Tatum.
That's right, and if you ask Coach Kainer, this is only the beginning. Okay, today we are getting to know Coach Kainer. He is the men and women's swimming and dive coach here at UT Permian Basin. Coach Kainer, talk to me about how you came to coach here at UT Permian Basin. You're one of our alumni. We love that. How
Yes,
did you
ma'am.
come back?
Well, I graduated in 2010 with a degree in communications, was a team captain here for 2 years, ended up coaching in upstate New York at St. Lawrence University, Florida Institute of Technology after that, came back in 2013 to coach a club team in Austin, and then my coach left the job here, applied for it, came back here in 2013, been loving it ever since.
I love that. So what about this program brought you back? Is it your connection from swimming for the university?
Absolutely. I was coaching a really good club team in Austin, never thought I'd leave there, but when this job came open, it's just home to me. When I stepped on the campus in 2006, felt that way. When I came back, it's exactly how it felt when I was here, and so many things have changed from 2006 to 2013. So
full circle moments.
for sure.
So let's talk about your team this year. How's the season going?
Season's going very well. Men are swimming very well. We've got a lot of freshmen who are coming in, competing well for us. Ladies are swimming really well. Broken a school record already in the 200 freestyle relay, and we have a couple of freshmen as well who are coming into the program really quickly and performing really well.
I love that. And kind of a fun fact that people don't necessarily know is our swim and dive team have been like one of the mainstays as far as athletic goes
For sure.
at our campus. Talk to me about what this program does for student athletes.
For sure. We bring in a lot of people throughout the state of Texas, even international athletes. They come in and are able to get a great education, but also compete in athletics at a pretty high level. We compete against great Division II teams, Division I teams, Division III, all over the spectrum. And it's just a great thing for them to come in and get a great education and get to continue the sport that they love.
Absolutely, and just like you said, y'all have had a really great season. The girls, they've already broken a record.
Absolutely.
The guys have come close to doing that.
For sure.
How do you see the rest of the season going? Y'all are at the midpoint right now.
Yeah, we're at the midpoint. So we're in finals week right now. Pretty easy swimming going on right now. Nothing too crazy, just to make sure they're focusing on their academics a little bit more. But really, we'll get into the heavy training here in the next couple weeks. When we get to our end of season, I think, taper, everything goes correctly. If we don't mess it up as coaches, I think, we're going to have a lot of records broken at the end of the year and a lot of accomplishments that we haven't had on our team before.
That's really great. And what wonderful facilities that you
Oh my goodness, yeah.
to utilize outside of the university. We've got some great things it's kind of a good secret.
Absolutely. Yeah, COM is fantastic. City of Midland Aquatics, they've let us use this pool for several years. This is the third season using this pool, the FMH pool, and they're just a great steward for us and great partnership between Odessa and Midland for us to come over and use it. And it's just incredible. It's a world-class facility and enjoy using it.
It's awesome. Well, a lot of great things in store for the
Absolutely.
rest of the season. So, Coach, I asked this to everybody.
Okay.
If you had a superpower, what would your superpower be?
I think it would be probably the power of healing. If somebody's sick, if somebody's not doing well, being able to help them out. If they're not feeling the best, trying to help them out the best that they can. And just getting them out of whatever situation that they can to be the best person that they can be.
I like that. Thank you so much.
Thanks.
Welcome back. The women's softball team is prepping for a big year.
That's right. I got to know Coach T in the place her team calls home. We are getting to know Coach T. She is the head softball coach here at UT Permian Basin. Coach T, tell me your story. How did you end up here at UT Permian Basin?
I actually went to Midland College first, and then while I was at Midland College, I met Coach Reinke. And then after college, I went to school in Daytona Beach, and then went to work for New Mexico State University. And while I was working there, Coach Reinke called me and said, hey, we have a position open, you might be interested in it. So it was kind of a no-brainer for me to come back to the Permian Basin.
Absolutely. So talk to me about your time with this team. Y'all had a little bit of fall play. What are some good things that you're seeing out of your girls so far?
I think the team chemistry has just been really great. I think that they genuinely like each other on the field and off the field. They work well together. We've kind of done a lot of community service, a lot of team building, and so that's built like kind of a togetherness, and just the tenacity that each one of them brings is definitely exciting.
So talk to me about that. Every coach we've spoken to is all about team building, and that's so important. How do you see that translate out onto the field?
I think especially for us, I view games like war, and so I want the best army to face their best army, and so I think we're able to kind of, through our team building, just be able to depend on each other. And like, not everyone can be a sniper, you know what I mean? Not everyone can be. So I think everyone has their own role. And I think through the team building process, you're able to kind of figure out where each person fits in.
Sure. So your full official season starts in February. What are some goals that you've set for your team this year?
Goals that we have this year are obviously to attack the Lone Star Conference. I feel like across the board in every sport, the Lone Star Conference is tough, and we want to definitely make it into the conference tournament and just come back hopefully with some hardware for the Permian Basin.
Yeah, absolutely. So what are some things that y'all been working on in the fall? I know that is such a long stretch from, when school starts in August to season starts. What have y'all been doing, I guess, in the downtime, if you want to even call it that?
We've actually integrated something new. We've been working and doing mental training. So that's, I think, is huge because no one talks about the mental side of sport. Sure. So we've done a lot more of that this fall. Done a lot of team building, done a ton of community service. I think this year so far we have 609 hours of community service. Just all kinds of random stuff. We've been doing scrimmaging against each other, but I think that gets tiring because they're tired of facing each other because they know how to beat each other.
Sure.
So we can't wait for February 1st because that means we get to go attack another team. That's
fun. That is so fun. Okay, so I know the field isn't how it's going to be in February. Keep that in mind as you're watching this. But when you look out on the field, this is y'all's home. What do you see happening here when you look out?
I just look like a lot of fun being had. I think that's the best thing about sport is obviously we're competing, you know what I mean, and we want to be intense, but I think we just want to have fun too. And so I think that we can attack people and attack the other team, but also have fun doing it. And it's good to see, your teammates doing it, and it's good to see obviously the girls just coming through and something that you've been practicing on, and then all of a sudden in a game it happens and it goes into action. It's just an amazing feeling. So fans, super loud. I want to see that. And all the girls just up cheering for each other and just some ESPN plays happening. That'd be nice too.
Absolutely. Well, there is nothing louder than being at a softball game. I mean,
that is
girls get hyped. So I'm so excited for y'all. So Coach T, last question. I ask every coach this as well. If you had a superpower, what would your superpower be?
Ooh, that's a hard one. I think I'd go with flight. I haven't lived at home since I was 17 years old. I went off to Midland, Texas to go to school. And so I miss a lot of things, being able to go home and see my family in California. So being able to pop over, just to check on them. I have twin nieces and twin nephews, so that's kind of crazy. But the odds of that, I don't know, are pretty good apparently. But just being able to go home and just be there for family events that I've just missed out on being over here.
I like that. Thanks, Coach.
Absolutely.
Welcome back. The Falcon baseball team is getting ready for another big season.
Yeah, I took a walk around the diamond with Coach Reinke, and if you ask him, this is more than just a game. If you're playing for the Falcons, you are family. Okay, today we are getting to know the one, the only Coach Reinke. Coach Reinke, you have been here probably the longest out of all of the coaches, or one of the longest. Talk to me about how this university has changed in your time here.
It's changed on so many levels. I mean, when I came here 15 years ago, it was, even the student population, we just didn't have a whole lot. We didn't have the atmosphere of feeling like a university. And honestly, in the last 3 or 4 years, it definitely has completely changed. I mean, bringing on football, building new buildings on campus, the atmosphere on campus has changed dramatically. And we continue to see that today. I mean, new kinesiology building, human performance center going up, new engineering building. I mean, things that are good for our students, that things are evolving every single day here.
Absolutely. It's an exciting time to be here at the university. Let's talk about your game, baseball. What are some things that you're seeing out of your team so far?
I thought we had a really good fall. We had a lot of young kids, and I thought they did a really good job of acclimating to what college baseball life is like. It's so different for them. They practice more than they've ever practiced. They throw more. They have to lift weights more than they did in high school. And so I thought they did a really good job. And on the other hand, I thought our upperclassmen did a great job of leading them through the fall gauntlet, as it normally gets to be called, just simply because, we go from the last week of August and we're done pretty much November 15th. So they get a long time in the fall that they're just not used to.
So taking that, with what you've had to work with so far, what are some goals that you've set for this team?
Goal number one every single year is to make the NCAA tournament. How do you do that? At the Division II level, you have to get to the conference tournament. Automatic bid goes to the winner of the conference tournament. In our region, there are only 6 teams that go to the NCAA tournament. So it's very demanding. You can get to the conference tournament, get the automatic bid, because there's plenty of years where there's teams that are deserving that do not get to go if you wait on and try and get a bid if you don't win the conference.
So when you think of success, or when a lot of people think of success in UTPB baseball, they think often Evan Gattis, and we have a really fun event coming up to honor him and his time here. Talk a little bit about that. I mean, he's just kind of, we all love him so much. We claim him as our own.
We do. I mean, and the meteoric rise of him after he was here is something special, and it's not something that can be planned for. It just happened, and I really think that what he's done, he's put this school on the map probably more than any single person that's ever gone to school here. And so we're having him back for an event January 18th. We're doing a fundraiser, and then the next day we're having our home alumni game. And we hope as many people can come out, as many returning alumni come out for the game, and obviously the event that we're doing. And everything we're doing with the event is to raise money for scholarships for our program.
Absolutely. Well, and you mentioned this, the alumni game is also happening that weekend. And when you think of alumni, all of that really does kind of circle back around to Evan. You've had some really just great guys that have come through here. And the one thing that I love so much about this program is, after the guys graduate from UTPB, they still stay together. Y'all have really created a family within this program.
And that's one of the things we talk about all the time. I mean, we bring recruits in and we talk about family type atmosphere. And there are every day I go to the grocery store, I go wherever I go, I run into guys that have played here for me. And it's awesome because they come here, they stay here, they get jobs, they raise families here. And that's part of what being a program is all about. And
being a coach too, I bet that is just a special part of it.
It is. I mean, it's really awesome for me to see guys that now have kids, and when they bring them out to the games, or when I see them at Little League parks when their kids are playing. So it's very rewarding.
I love that. So, Coach Reinke, last question. I ask every coach this. It's probably the hardest question you're ever going to be asked, so prepare yourself. If you had a superpower, what would your superpower be?
That's a great question. If I had a superpower, man, with our history of this program, my wife's history, my history, my superpower would be to cure cancer.
I've asked every coach that, and his is a tug of your heart right there. We're going to take a break. We'll be right back.
Welcome back to Falcon Focus. We're still here with Coach Newman. Now, Coach Newman, let me ask you about this. Arlington Baptist tomorrow. I know the toy toss is going to be a big part of the game, but there's still a game to be played. So what are we talking about with the Patriots?
Yeah, no, there is a game to be played. We have to kind of get through the emotional start first, and once that first basket comes into play, then it's a game. So hopefully that'll come soon enough. But they're a very scrappy group. They're not very big in size, but they got a lot of good guards. Particularly, they have 3 guards that are really good at penetrating. We're going to have to keep them out of the paint to be successful tomorrow night.
Then after that, Christmas break. How do you keep the guys in shape and focused through the holidays?
Yeah, so we got one more game before the break. We're at Lubbock Christian on Wednesday, which is a huge road test for us. Over the break, I think it's important that they take a little time off. The biggest thing is they condition themselves. They don't necessarily have to get in the gym and shoot, but they need to exercise, they need to run. They just need to find time to keep their conditioning, because once they get back, we're right in the middle of league play, and we don't have time to start over.
2019 going to be a big year for the Falcons. That's all the time we have here for tonight. For myself, Tatum, and Coach Newman, you guys have a great night. And of course,
Falcons up.